Hey you, welcome to Beauty Over 40. Today is collaboration day with my beautiful girls of Beauty Over 40. We're celebrating the theme of mental illness awareness, which is the color green. So maybe some of us will use the color green and maybe some of us will not, but we'll get a little bit further into the video once you start to watch. And yeah, definitely make sure you check out all the girls that are participating in this month's collaboration. If you'd like to see how I created this beautiful blue look, definitely stay tuned.
I'm down if you're down. Let's ride out right now. We'll go where there ain't no crowds, somewhere underneath the clouds. I'm down if you're down.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get started. And our theme this month is discussing or sharing information about National Mental Health Awareness Month, which a lot of people will wear the color green to symbolize just that. But in the theme of that, we're just going to be talking about that a little bit. And then I'm going to be incorporating a different color. So as you can see, I'm going to go with blue. So we're just going to tie in the conversation really about colors and how they can be impactful in your life or your mood. So we're just going to talk about mental health awareness first. But first, I'm going to go ahead and start with my, I'm going to go ahead and jump into these eyes because I've done the face already. So I'm going to start off with Laying Low by Mac. This is a great eyeshadow primer. It's a pro Longwear product. If you're familiar with Mac, you're familiar with the pro Long products. They're good products. They last a long time. They extend the wear of your makeup. All right, so we're just going to start with that on the lid. Pull that down a little bit. Lid and the crease. All right. National Mental Health Awareness Month. First established in 1949 by Mental Health America, MHA. Purpose: to increase awareness and understanding of mental health, to highlight the importance of mental well-being for everyone. I do think in this day and age, a lot of people don't really recognize when they're having mental concerns, or whether that could be mild or severe. I can probably definitely say that I have, especially going through menopause. Like, it's a lot, and I'm seeing so many things on TikTok right now regarding that people just do not, even as far as doctors, they do not understand how impactful menopause is to women. There's just really not any definite answers, but I don't want to go too deep into that. But yeah, mental illness can definitely affect you when you're going through menopause, and in some cases that could be a double win. To advocate for policies that support people with mental illness and their families, to reduce stigma surrounding mental health conditions. Each year, organizations like MHA and the National Alliance of Mental Illness choose a specific theme to guide outreach efforts. Activities sometimes include educational campaigns, community events, social media awareness, which we're all familiar with that. We see a lot of information about mental illness all the time. Mental health screenings and well-being programs. All right, so I'm going to pause right there for a second. I will get into some more of that information. But now that our eyeshadow base, our Pro Longwear, has set for a few minutes, I'm just going to go in and just press that in, make sure I'm not creasing. All right, and then we're just going to go in, of course, got to start with the transition color, right? So I'm using the Tarte Man Eater, and I'm going to go in with this color right here for my transition color. So we're going to start with that, and then I'm going to jump over to this color, and then I'm not sure if I want it this dark. I might do a brown. So if I don't use that black, I will be using a brown color. But we're just going to get into that and put that all in our crease. All in our crease. The older I get, I find not completely, but I find my eye shape has changed so much. I remember when I used to work at Mac, I didn't have these concerns. I did not. Okay, we're gonna put some of that at the bottom as well. I love a good transition color at the bottom, and I've done this so much that I just threw it down there. I say that it hides my wrinkles. Okay. All right, so now we're gonna go into that second color, and I'm gonna find a little bit more denser, smaller brush, hopefully. It's crazy, I have so many brushes in. I always tend to go to to the same ones. Do you guys do that? All right, and I'm just gonna pat that. I'm not gonna take it all the way. I'm not gonna take it all the way over. All right, and we're just gonna find a blending brush. And that harsh line out there. So again, I'm gonna go with a blue color, and I will expound on what blue means and how it can affect the mood. But why does mental health matter? 1 in 5 U.S. adults experience a mental health condition each year. That's a lot. Many people still face barriers to accessing treatment due to stigma, lack of resources, or systemic inequalities. All right, I'm going to find a darker color. I'm going to try maybe a brown or like a dark gray. So I'm going to pull out this Naked palette. I use this, I think on one of my last videos. I'm just going to go into that darkest color in the palette right there. I'm just going to put that in the outer corner. Yeah, that's pretty dark. Just a little bit. Alright, and I'm just going to go take that blending brush again, or a blending brush, and blend that out a little bit. And for the lid color, I'm going to pull out the Glaze and Glow in the Blink. Again, I've been loving these. Cream eyeshadows have been really, really popular here lately. So I'm just going to stay on with that theme. And I'm going to pick up Frost Boss. If you haven't seen my video with these colors, definitely check it out. I'm going to swatch it on my hand first so you guys can see. Definitely think it needs to be shaken up some more. But you can see the shift of blues and purples. All right, so let's get into our color and how it can affect your mood. Colors can have a powerful impact on your mood and emotions, even if we're not always consciously aware of it. Here's how blue typically affects people. Blue is calming. If you think about, I mean, even the sky, you know, compared to like a gray sky, you know, it just, you know, puts you in a good mood. Think about the ocean. The ocean is calming, right? So calming and peaceful, blue is known to have a soothing effect. It can slow heart rate and breathing. That I didn't know, so that's really cool. Making it ideal for promoting relaxation. Well, I think, okay, so if I piggyback to the ocean, I can definitely tie that into the ocean, feeling calming and relaxing and slowing down your breathing. Trust and stability. It often associates with trustworthiness and security, which is why many institutions use it in its branding. I didn't know that, but now that I'm thinking about it, like police officers or certain sadness. On the flip side, blue is also linked to melancholy, as in feeling blue. Especially when used in darker shades. Blue uses bedroom, meditation spaces, or anywhere calm focuses are needed. All right, so we've shaken this up. Let's see if it's ready, see if we have a good amount of product on here. Okay, I'm just gonna lay down a little bit and then I'm just gonna see if I can just like swipe this out lightly. Okay, that's really nice for like a wash of color. And that's what I was saying in my last video. If you want like a good pigmentation of color, then you want to like really pack that color on. But in this situation, I think I just want like two light washes of color. So okay, so that's really nice when you blend it out with a brush. And again, you can see the shifts of color there. A little bit of blue and purple. Pretty, huh? I love it. You know, I just had an idea. Let me see. I know I have this Hershey's palette here, which I absolutely love. And it has tons of really, really pretty blues in there. Whew. Let's see. I might regret this, but I think I'm just gonna put a little bit of this blue on top of this. Maybe I'll store it in the outer. Okay, that knocked it up a notch. All right, and I'm just gonna go back into that blending color and just lay a little bit of that where that blue stopped and where that darkest color comes into play. Okay, so that's pretty. All right, a little bit more about blue. Blue is one of the most psychologically impactful colors and is widely studied for its effects on mood and behavior. Light to medium blues like the sky and powder blue have been shown to lower stress levels and slow down heart rate and breathing. That's why it's often used in hospitals and spas and meditation spaces. Focus and clarity. Blue helps improve concentration and productivity, which is why many tech companies and classrooms use it. It's great for spaces where calm mental focus is needed, like study areas or offices. Trust and reliability. Darker shades of blue like navy communicate stability, security, and professionalism. Often used in corporate branding, think like banks, law firms, to evoke a sense of dependability. Sadness and detachment. While calming, too much blue or darker tones can sometimes feel cold, aloof, or even depressing in certain situations. That's where the balance with warmer tones or natural tones help balance that. Where to use blue. So this is pretty good where we can tie into our theme. So we'll end on this with as far as relating the colors. Where to use blue for mental wellness. Bedrooms help relax the mind and body before sleep. Therapy rooms creates a tranquil environment for reflection and healing. And workspaces encourages focus without overstimulating. Look. My color is blue, and I think that blends really well with the background. All right, guys, so that is it for this month's collaboration. Definitely make sure you check out all the girls that are participating in this month's collaboration. And if you know someone that is suffering from mental illness, or, you know, even if you're like thinking that you might, I would, definitely recommend that, you talk to someone or go see someone. All right, guys, so that is it for my video today. So if you're not following me on Instagram and TikTok, give your girl a follow at LRH Makeup. Also, my second handle on TikTok, which I'm most active on, is _BeautyOver40. And of course, if you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please consider subscribing to my channel. Turn on post notifications, that way you'll be notified when I upload new content. All right, guys, until next time, remember the best makeup you can wear is confidence. Bye.